So Dr. Emilie, it's the end of the school year. And while that's a bit of good news for kids everywhere, that's for sure, it also comes with a little bit of uncertainty because, hey, the summer is going to happen and, wow, are we going to get together next fall or not? I'd like to think we are, but you never really know for sure. So at the end of the year here, Dr. Emilie, with my child that I mentor, what do I do?
Yes, and it can be a very bittersweet time for both mentors and students because it's difficult for the mentors to say goodbye at the end of the school year, as well as the students who are anticipating summer. It brings about some big changes in their lives. So there are some things that I would recommend that you do in terms of closure toward the end of the school year. One of them is to write a note or a card to your mentee and tell them a little bit about what you've seen in terms of growth over the past year. Maybe there were some challenges that you faced when you began in September and you've seen some of those things develop over the year, like patience, for instance. If they become more patient or if they become more kind in your mentoring sessions, you can comment on those things in your card. And certainly I would focus more on the character traits than on any type of academic success. Because we definitely want to focus on relationship and character building in those, and especially in the card. Another thing that you might do is think about some of the times that you've spent together and recreate some of those memories together. Share maybe your favorite mentoring session, or talk about how you've maybe played games together for the last several weeks. And as a mentor, you can decide if you'd like to share a small memento with your child at the end of the school year. Even possibly a small game that you've played together before. I know there are lots of members and mentors who love to play games like Uno, and at the end of the year, it might be helpful for the child to have a game of Uno to take home with them to remember some of the mentoring sessions that you've shared together. But ultimately, it's important to remember that our kids often have rejection or abandonment in their lives. So we want to make sure that we create a positive experience as we face this closure at the end of the year. And part of doing that is helping kids understand what they might expect and not creating false promises.
So we shouldn't necessarily commit and say absolutely positively we're going to be together in the fall. But on the flip side, we shouldn't say goodbye, I'm never going to see you again either, right?
Exactly, because there is a lot of uncertainty. So it helps to say, I'm hoping to see you again in the fall, or if everything works out right, I'll be able to mentor you again in the fall. But be careful about creating false promises.
Oh, that's great. That's great, because that's the one thing that every mentoring relationship has in common through Kids Hope USA is they all face the end of the school year at about the same time. So thanks for those helpful words. And now that we're at the end of the mentoring year too, Dr. Emilie, if everything works out, I hope to see you again in the fall where we could do this again.
Fantastic. I'm hoping to be here too.
All right, thanks.